All right, so we had a bit of a play with this one in class and now got a little bit more to do. In this particular one, we tried a few strategies yesterday or you're just watching this video and you haven't watched it. The first step here, what we want to do, and a lot of the time we did talk about this, we want to change to sine and cosine where possible. Now, in this, I'm just going to point out a little identity. So we've got just cotangent theta is going to equal cosine over sine theta. So we're going to use all these values now to fill these in. So we've got cosine theta over sine theta, and then that's our top line there, and then our next one, CSC, which is 1, it's our reciprocal of sine theta, so 1 over sine theta. We've then got minus secant is 1 over cos theta, and this one here is sine theta, which is the tangent sine over cos theta, plus cos theta over sine theta. Now, I regret that we actually tried this as a strategy, but we didn't change the cotangents. We kept doing them as tan, so that's why we were running into trouble. So the first step here, do I have the pointer that I used to have? I don't think so. So what we're going to do in this first left-hand side one is we've got our, I'm just going to put it in a bracket, 1 plus cosine theta over sine theta. And this divide by here, this value here, because of our rule with fractions, we're going to multiply this by sine theta over 1. And then our other side over here, I'm going to just leave, we're going to go 1 over cosine theta. We'll do the same thing just because this will be easier, and then this is going to multiply. Actually, no, we'll sort out the bottom first. We'll leave this 1 over cosine theta up here, cosine theta, just because we might be able to clean this up a little bit first. So I've left the 1 over cosine. We're going to want a common denominator here. So the left-hand side of this denominator, we're going to have to multiply by cosine. So we're going to end up with cosine theta sine theta over... sorry, that's the wrong one. That should be sine squared theta over sine theta cosine theta. And then this right-hand side, we're going to have to multiply by cosine, so we're going to get cosine squared theta over sine theta cosine theta. So this is getting a little bit better now. So we've got this one here, so let's expand the left-hand side of this bracket. We've got sine theta, we've multiplied with that first one, and then this second one, when we multiply in the distributive law, we're going to have cosine theta times sine theta, but it's divided by sine. Oh, well, let's just write it out actually. Cosine theta over sine theta over sine theta means that our sine thetas there cancel out. That's good. And then we've got this one here minus. Now, I'm going to leave this as we have just because we're going to get rid of a bit of stuff on the bottom and then we can multiply. So this is now going to be sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta all over sine theta cosine theta. Now, we know that sine squared theta and cosine squared theta is going to equal 1. So we're going to have sine theta over here plus cosine theta minus, and we've got 1 over cosine theta. All right, and then I'll keep writing it as a fraction just because it'll make life a bit easier. Then we've got 1 over sine theta cosine theta. Okay, and then we're getting close now. Sine theta plus cosine theta minus 1 over cosine theta, and that will be times by, we're going to have, this thing will be sine theta cosine theta over 1. Our cosines there are going to cancel, and we're now left with sine theta plus cosine theta minus sine theta, which just equals cosine theta.